Alright, what is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? The ACMG's Gamer here. Today, we're here to talk about Starfield. I know this is another video about Starfield. I also have some stuff about Jedi Survivor, the new Star Wars game. So let's get right into it, shall we? They say IGN was lucky enough to speak to Bethesda Game Studios' Todd Howard today, and in the process learned a lot more about Starfield, not to mention heard a mention of Fallout's future, so we'll go down here. We'll start off here. Todd Howard confirms Fallout 5 is coming after Elder Scrolls 6. Todd Howard has confirmed to IGN that Fallout 5 will be Bethesda Game Studios' next game after Elder Scrolls 6, which itself will follow on from 2023's Starfield. Yes, Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production, and we're going to be doing Fallout 5 after that, so our slate's pretty full going forward for a while. We have some other projects that we look forward to, that we look at from time to time as well. So we know they're currently working on Starfield. That's the next game that is going to come out. So we have Starfield, and then Elder Scrolls 6, whenever that comes out, 2025, maybe 2030, who knows. And then after that will be Fallout 5. Starfield includes more handcrafted content than any Bethesda game alongside its procedural galaxy. Amid a huge amount of new information on Starfield, from the Xbox Bethesda showcase, likely the most discussed detail was Todd Howard's announcement that the upcoming sci-fi RPG will include 1,000 fully explorable planets. Howard told us more about the game's approach to procedural generation, what it offers, and assured us that players can ignore them in favor of a huge amount of fully handcrafted content if they want to. Starfield's main quest is about 20% bigger than previous Bethesda games, around 30 to 40 hours long. 20% bigger than blah blah blah. 20% bigger than previous Bethesda games such as Skyrim and Fallout 4. Todd Howard's saying that means it should take around 30 to 40 hours to complete, without stepping away to do any side content. That's kind of crazy. Howard said that the game's main story is longer than normal due to the sheer number of quests. This one's ending up a bit longer than our previous games, and we may tune that some still. He said it's more quests, so it might be 20% more than our previous ones. And then down here it says, yes, Starfield will begin with the classic Bethesda step-out moment, very wildly in setting and tone, but that they often share one thing, what Bethesda calls the step-out moment, the scene in which your character steps into the world properly and sees its sheer scale. Starfield won't be bucking that trend. Howard was asked if Starfield had a step-out moment and how it would create a grand reveal of its world, considering it includes 1,000 different planets. Look, the way the game starts is pretty set for everybody, so we definitely have what we call the step-out moment, and we probably have a few of them given the scale of the game. Very interesting. Starfield has 4 main cities, and New Atlantis is the biggest city Bethesda's ever made. Starfield will have 4 major cities for players to explore, including New Atlantis, which is the biggest that developer Bethesda has ever made. Howard said that New Atlantis, capital city of the United Colonies, is not just the biggest in this game, but bigger than anything in Skyrim, Fallout 4, or any of the developers' previous games. That's kind of crazy. It has all the services you would expect, and you can work on your ship there. The factions touch that, Howard said, but that's also the headquarters for Constellation, which is the faction that you join that is the last group of space explorers. Kind of this NASA meets Indiana Jones meets League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen group. Starfield does let you fly... Starfield doesn't let you fly seamlessly from space to planet. That's really just not that important. Todd Howard has said that Starfield won't allow you to fly seamlessly, saying the feature is really just not that important to the player, justify the engineering work involved. People have asked, can you fly the ship straight down to the planet? No, we decided early in the project that the on-surface is one reality, and then when you're in space, it's another reality. I believe that... Oh, nope, that's not. Starfield's space combat is unique and inspired by FTL and Mech Warrior. Todd Howard said Starfield features a unique take on space combat, and that was partly inspired by FTL and Mech Warrior. And yes, you can steal ships that you board. Howard said there's been a lot of space sims that we're fans of and space shooters from the 90s, but the team wanted Starfield to feel like something unique. He went on to explain how both Indie Darling, FTL, and classic shooter MechWarrior were unlikely touchstones for the game. Yeah, that's it. So basically, what we learned, and I don't know if it's covered in this article, is that your what's it called? Your character only speaks in or your character doesn't speak, and it's all in first person. That was something that they mentioned. But 20% bigger, 30 to 40 hours long. You cannot transition seamlessly. Actually, if you watch the video or the trailer at the end, there's a trailer where the ship is taking off, but it's like multiple different planets and it's changing rapidly. That's the cutscene, I'm assuming. So if you get in your spaceship or your starship and you take off, I'm assuming there's a cutscene that happens, and then there's a loading screen, and then you're in space. And then I'm assuming that there's an entry cutscene as well, but before that I'm sure there's a loading screen. Now, the real question is, once you're on a planet, I'll say the question is, once you're on a planet, like if you land on that planet Jemison, and you've already been through a cutscene, you've already been a loading screen, I'm assuming if you were to go into a city, that there'd be another loading screen there, and maybe even a loading screen in going to certain areas in the city itself, kind of like Skyrim, or if it's only like the big, huge open world planet. I mean, who knows? They did say that you can land anywhere on the planet, but we also saw that you could scan planets for resources. So maybe if it's a dead planet, I mean, maybe you can land there, but maybe there's just no point to it. I don't know. We don't know that much about anything. They did show us quite a bit of stuff, and there was something else that I wanted to add to this. In addition to that, there's roughly 20 character backgrounds that you can choose from, some of which we were shown in the trailer that I went through, and also traits. And that was it. That was the only thing. Plus there's no voice and the seamless planet stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Actually, wait, I lied. We have Jedi Survivor stuff. Hold on. Just a couple of things about Jedi Survivor. EA has said that they're going to put a new IP to release in Q4 of 2023, which means it would be January through March. Potentially, the release date for Jedi Survivor could fall within that early category. We know it's next gen only, which is PS5 and Xbox One X or S. Third-person action adventure shooter. Fallen Order was set 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. Survivor is set 5 years after Fallen Order, so it's 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, which is the same time frame as Kenobi. The whole point of the story is you're surviving the dark times post-Jedi. It's a more mature game. Throughout the trailer, it seems like Cal has lost his lightsaber, and he has to train to fight without it. And if you actually look at the trailer, he has a blaster. So it's going to be interesting to see if we have to fight, if it's going to be like a third-person action shooter part of the game with force abilities, I guess, until we find our lightsaber. As far as companions go, we know BD is returning. No news on Seer or Grease, even though I believe it's still the Mantis. There are rumors that suggest maybe we get to play as Marin, and it's possible that Cal was training her to be a Jedi. Who knows? Enemy type variation. We actually got this from a toy set, action figure set. The Purge Troopers are returning. The Riot Scout Troopers are returning, but they also have shields and stun batons. The only new thing is the shield, and the KX Security Droid K2SO is also returning. But also, this is curious, they brought Magna Guards back, the bodyguards of General Grievous. Potentially new planets and systems. We did see Coruscant, that Pawon, the same species as the Grand Inquisitor from Rebels, is an Imperial senator. So that's on Coruscant. That desert planet that the Mantis crashes on could be Tatooine, could be Jeddah. If it is Jeddah, we would meet Saw Gerrera again, as we met him in the first game. And then the combat has been expanded. It's dynamic. We have new skills, plus the blaster as already mentioned. That's really all the news. That's more news than I think they actually let on in the interviews and stuff. These are more conclusions that are drawn from the trailer. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But thank you guys for watching. This was a new gameplay, game details for both Starfield and Survivor. I cannot wait for both of these games to come out. I'm still struggling with trying to see what we're going to do for Starfield. Because as I said before, it is an Xbox PC exclusive. My PC is not the best, so if I were to not record it on PC, I would end up having to stream it from the Xbox, and I think that might be a better bet. Considering my PC, the graphics wouldn't be that great anyways. On the Xbox, they would be a lot better, and if I needed to, I could easily just stream the same amount of time that I would record. So, and I can make all the live streams on my channel videos and publish them in this, that, and the other. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.